Thank you so much. You're most welcome. Team from IG, led by Dr. Patricia and her colleague, the deputy. You're most welcome to Parliament of Uganda. And Commissioner and the team from Parliament, you're all most welcome. The Fourth Estate, our best friends, you're all most welcome for this function, short function that we are going to have, where we are going to perform our constitutional obligation. Under section 31(7) of the Leadership Code, Act 202, it requires IG and its deputies to declare assets, liabilities, incomes to the Speaker of Parliament. We are gathered here to fulfill the requirement of the law in furtherance to accountability and transparency. I thank you for complying with the constitutional obligation by ensuring that you come here and we perform what we are supposed to do as Parliament, and you as IG, who are our staff anyway. It's a very crucial thing that we must always be accountable to the people who gave us these jobs, and we must be transparent. I don't see why people should continue hiding whatever they have in other people's name. If I have a property which is in my name, it is mine, and if I can account for where it came from, I should be able to do that. The quest of accountability is very, very important in good governance. If we can be able to make sure that we make everybody accountable for what he or she has, we will be reducing corruption in the country. We appreciate really what you go through and what you are doing for the country. You are holding everybody accountable for whatever they have and whatever they get from wherever. I want to reiterate our commitment as Parliament of Uganda that we will always support you, and we believe in the rule of law and constitutionalism. We will support you in whatever you're doing as IG in terms of your budgets. We know you're constrained with the staff. Now you're going into declaration. In the declaration, you'll go down up to the local level. But because you don't have enough staff, you don't have money to recruit staff, you find that you may end up getting backlog. But as Parliament, as we go into the budgeting process, we want to make a commitment that will ensure that you work well and will facilitate you financially. Today, in compliance with the section 4(1) of the Leadership Code Act, I will declare my incomes, my assets, and my liabilities to IG. Ladies and gentlemen, I will also request the members of Parliament and the staff of Parliament and civil servants, public servants, to do the same. Declare your assets, your income, and your liabilities, so that we know what we have, who has what. This is a part of the accountability we are talking about, part of transparency we are talking about. As public servants, we hold these offices in trust. And because we hold them in trust, we are duty bound to make the public know what we are doing, what we have, and what is expected of the public from us. And as you know very well, the corruption which is here today has become a vice. It is a vice like homosexuality. So this vice must be stopped, must be reduced by us being accountable to our people, accountable to IG, so that IG is aware what is in the country. We need to know what is our net worth. Me, I'm going to declare all my liabilities and the assets. I really want to urge all the members of Parliament, all the staff, all the public servants, that from today onwards, you should be able to declare your income, assets, and liabilities as per the Leadership Code Act. And based on that, I am now going to do it. But failure to do that, for those who are not doing it, that will be a breach. You know what it means. Remember the case of Luchamusi. It's not a good thing for you to not to declare. For me, I'm declaring, and I should be in good books with you. I therefore call everybody outside there to do the declarations. I open the It has been submitted. I sincerely want to thank the IG for continuously reminding us. I had actually forgotten, but I'm happy that you're very vigilant with your work. You're able to remind us always that it is time for you to declare, and we don't really take that for granted because you're making us do what we are supposed to do. We thank you so much, and thank you for this function.
Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Commissioners and Members of Parliament, my colleague, Honorable Deputy IGG, Mrs. Anne Muheire, and the technical team from the IG and members of the Fourth Estate, the media. Good morning to you all. Good morning again. Good morning. Thank you. It's indeed our great pleasure to be here, to be received by the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. On behalf of the Honorable Inspector General of Government, Honorable Betty Kamia Turomwe, I have led a delegation of myself and my colleague, Mrs. Anne Muheire, and a select team of technical staff of the Inspectorate. We bring apologies from Honorable IGG, who was not able to make it here today. She lost her relative, but however, her declaration will be able to be submitted today because she completed it as well. Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, I would like to thank you very much for complying with the legal requirement of the law and declaring publicly here. And we are pleased to inform you that as the Inspectorate of Government leadership, we are here today also to fulfill our constitutional obligation under Chapter 3 and 14 of the Constitution. We are here as leaders of the Inspectorate of Government to declare our incomes, assets and liabilities to you, the Speaker of Parliament, as required by Section 31(7) of the Leadership Code Act. We have to be walking the talk. We have to walk in the light and encourage leaders out there to declare their assets, their incomes and liabilities. As the Inspectorate of Government, we are charged with a constitutional mandate to supervise the enforcement of the Leadership Code Act. And the Leadership Code Act provides minimum standard of behavior and conduct of leaders and public officers. It requires leaders to declare their assets within 3 months of assuming office or positions of leadership, and every 2 years in the month of March. Right Honorable Speaker, last week we were in Lira to launch the declaration period, and the third Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Nakadama, was there. She launched it and also declared publicly. So we take note that declaration is a vital tool in the prevention of corruption, detection of illicit enrichment, and conflict of interest. It also helps us to be able to monitor and ensure that all entrusted power and authority vested upon leaders and public servants is not abused. And therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, we are here basically to fulfill that constitutional obligation, and we are going to continue creating more awareness out there so that all the leaders get to know their responsibility, because they have to comply with the requirement of the law. I would like to thank you for your commitment as Parliament to continuously support the Inspectorate of Government to help us do our work better, because without that support we are not able to move. We require the resources to be able to conduct verifications after these declarations, because we are expected to receive over 34,000 declarations from the leaders, and those declarations will require verifications at the end of the day. Otherwise, thank you very much. I hereby also now will log in and declare publicly, and my colleague will also do likewise, which is a symbol, a sign that we are leading by example, and would like all other leaders to emulate us and be able to do likewise. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and your team for facilitating this exercise to happen. Thank you. I need on behalf of my team.
Okay.
Yes, because now we can submit the one of Honorable IGG as well, and submit the one of Honorable DIGG Anne.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Right Honorable Speaker, the one for Honorable IGG has been submitted, and I think it is clear the press can see it that it has been duly submitted. Yes. Yes.
Yes, it is there.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patricia, and thank you everyone here. We have performed our constitutional obligation, and I have received the declaration of the IG and the deputy IGs as per section 317 of the Leadership Code Act 202, where they are supposed to declare and submit it to the Speaker. We have received them, and you can ably see them on the screen. We want to thank you for declaring that.
Right Honorable Speaker, we have also seen proof that DIGG and Mugisha's submission was also received. Yes.
Thank you so much. We must walk the talk. It must start from us before we call for others to come in. And I want to thank you for really trying your best to create awareness of declaration. People need to understand, why are they declaring? You need to invest more in creating awareness of why should one really declare. Because for me, somebody will think it is just an activity that should take place, but they need to know the advantages and the disadvantages of why one should declare, and the benefits that it has to a country like Uganda. So as we even provide money for you people, we need to know, everybody needs to understand the reason why declaration is supposed to be there. We also need to ask you one timely receipt of the reports, people who want to declare. In most cases, you find the system is down. The system is down, somebody cannot, it will remain hanging for almost a whole week. So you need to make sure that the system is always updated, it is always working, because so many people try to declare. And you find most people get frustrated because they cannot declare because of the system. So you need to ensure that the system is on. Even when you do declaration, we know you're doing a very good job. So you've got so many people, you've recovered a lot of money. Timely prosecution of these culprits, the perpetrators, is very, very important. We look upon you to ensure that these culprits are brought to books and our monies are recovered. So we really want once more to thank you for that, for the work you're doing as IG, and we'll continue working in a partnership with IG, and not forgetting that your staff will always nurture our baby, the IG. Thank you so much. Fourth Estate, thank you so much for always being there for Parliament of Uganda, and forever we are indebted to you. Thank you.
Uganda. Uganda, the national speaker. What? What was that? Bibeera confidence era ofaayo mukulu naye olina okulaga nti wa process ayigirye okugamba nti tubirya sipiika tubirabye.
Hanifa from Smart 24. What are the items declared? We declare incomes, assets, and liabilities. How much it is you earn annually, how much allowances or emoluments you obtain from government annually, how much land you have or property, and liabilities like vehicles and so on. So that is basically what we declare, and the process is online using the online declaration form. So what happened here today, the people who declared had already filled that online declaration form, recorded all the numbers of the assets they have, where they have it, and what size they are, the incomes, and so on. So this was just a process to submit that form to the Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament. Dominic Ochola from Uganda Radio Network is asking how much have we recovered so far from the leaders, and where is this function supposed to take place, and what do we do about the leaders who defy the provisions of the Leadership Code Act? Now the law clearly stipulates that the Inspector General of Government and the Deputy Inspector General of Government shall declare their incomes, assets, and liabilities to the Speaker of Parliament, which is provided for under Section 31 Clause 7 of the Leadership Code Act. And that is the reason why we are here today, to demonstrate that responsibility of leadership, especially when it comes to being compliant with the declaration. How much have we so far recovered? We normally take the people who have defied the provisions of the law. We submit their cases to the Leadership Code Tribunal, and the Leadership Code Tribunal adjudicates and prosecutes them for their defiance. I wouldn't say I have statistics offhand right here, but what I know, we have so far submitted approximately 45 leaders to the Leadership Code Tribunal for prosecution. But going forward, I think because we have made this declaration period public and we are doing as much publicity, I know we are going to be able to get a lot more. And in terms of recovery, what have we recovered? We have recovered like property abused or misused by leaders out there, and we have put them to task to pay back the value worth the damage done to the vehicles or property. So the details of which are with the Leadership Code Tribunal, which is a public tribunal, and members of the public can sit and listen to what happens. They also prepare their reports and submit to Parliament. What do we do to leaders who defy the provisions of the Leadership Code Act? Again, there are penalties within the law. There are leaders who can be dismissed from work, demoted from work, and there are penalties that's provided for within the law. Others can be asked to pay fine or refund whatever loss it is they caused. So Dominic, that is how best I can respond. And I'll go to the first question by Mr. Sam Ibanda from NBS on verifications of assets. What are the challenges we face as IG when it comes to verification of assets. When it comes to verifications, like now we are receiving declarations. This period from 1st March to 2023 to 31st March, we're expected to receive about 34,000 declarations. Now, 34,000 declarations is quite a big number for the Inspectorate of Government, and we are charged with the responsibility of conducting verifications as well. Now, when it comes to verifications, it requires a lot more work because we are now doing detailed background checks to ensure and ascertain whether what someone declared is commensurate with his well-known sources of incomes. And in so doing, we come across people who have underdeclared. You have 21 houses, you have declared only 2. You have said one is in Chiboga, your village home, and one is here in the city, or it's in Tinda, or wherever. And yet, when we do verifications, we discover you're paying utility bills, you're paying umeme, you're paying for water, you're paying rental tax, and so on. We then discover that, hey, this leader actually has a lot more than he declared. So that is an offense and is punishable under the law. There is another offense for over-declaring. Declaration in anticipation, where someone sits and thinks that, okay, I think by 2023 March, I will be able to acquire this much. And he fills it in the form as if he has already acquired it. That is over-declaration, and it is an offense within the law. And also not declaring is an offense within the law. So when doing verifications, the challenges we have are resource related, because verifications need the technical people to go down on the ground to ascertain whether these declarations are truthful or not truthful. So this is where we require a lot more funding. Last calendar year, we did verifications of about 250. We had to cluster the leaders and say, well, we are now going to take accounting officers or heads of institutions, of ministries, departments, and agencies, and just, look at those, because these are the holders of big votes when it comes to managing accounts out there. So we then do progressive verifications within the minimum resources, and as we get the resources, so we then have to cut the coat according to the cloth that we have. So this is where we have a challenge as the Inspectorate of Government, and we call for a lot of support, especially from the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament and members of Parliament, to support the Inspectorate and improve our vote so that we are able to do thorough work when it comes to verifications. Thank you very much. These were the 3 I have responded. Thank you very much. I think I'll begin with what Jackson has just asked. How far have we reached with the NSSF? Usually when investigations are ongoing, we do not discuss the details of what is being investigated because it jeopardizes the process of investigations. I am glad to note that Parliament has concluded their part, and the Inspectorate is also still doing their investigations on that NSSF matter. We have a broad investigations plan which we are following and want to go into the nitty-gritty of that matter. You will excuse me, I will not discuss it here because it will jeopardize the process of investigations. For me to discuss here, then it is broadcast, and then so allow me, Jackson, to stop here for that, but perhaps behind the scenes we can engage a little. Well, we have not yet concluded. We have not yet concluded the investigations, and I think we need a little more time to conclude that investigations. So you will get to know the details of that investigation. Franklin from Monitor asked about declaration. Is it a secret between the IG and the public? Declaration of assets and incomes and liabilities is not a secret affair, and that is why we get to engage with you, our friends from the Fourth Estate, because we want as much publicity to remind leaders of their obligations to declare. And who are we talking about? We're talking about leaders, the political leaders as provided for within the second schedule of the Constitution, the appointed leaders, the heads of institutions, and so on. And everybody every leader who obtains emoluments from the Consolidated Fund from Government of Uganda is supposed to declare. And it is not a secret. It is not a secret, and that is why we have come here to declare publicly. It is not a secret at all when it comes to issues to do with declarations. Mariam from Taji TV is talking about declarations in the regions, and is there honesty? How do we promote honesty in the declarations? This is basically done still again through the awareness creations, but maybe to let you know, the Inspectorate of Government has created a lot of awareness. We have trained the focal point persons in the different ministries, departments and agencies, and we have our regional technical team who are there to guide people who may have challenges when it comes to issues to do with declarations. So it is something where we expect people to know what to do, because it is an online system and anyone can access our online system in whichever part of the world as long as they have access to internet. How do we ensure that there is honesty? I think we need to continue talking about our national values as well, so that Ugandans know about the value of truthfulness, about honesty, about integrity, accountability, and so on. And these are the these are the principles which help in the fight against corruption. Just to remind people that you need to be as truthful in everything, in anything that you do, especially when you're a leader and representing the people out there. You need to have some degree or level of truthfulness. So this is basically what we are doing. And for breach of the code, failure to submit correct information is punishable within the law, within Section 6 of the Leadership Code. Where we see that there is conflict of interest, still again it is punishable within the law. Failure to declare interest. There are some people who have interests and they do not declare. That is provided for within Section 9. And then also acceptance of prohibited gifts and failure to declare the same to the IG. There are times when leaders do receive gifts of a certain value, and if it is beyond 5 currency points, we expect that leader should walk in the light and come to the Inspectorate of Government and declare. We look at the intention. Why was the gift given to that leader? For what purpose? Was it a traditional marriage ceremony and he got an animal? Or they're just giving him this gift to influence his decisions or position as a leader? So we expect that these gifts are declared to the Inspectorate of Government. Otherwise, thank you very much, members of the Fourth Estate, for listening to me, and I wish you a very fruitful day. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much for reminding me. The person goes to declare, the leaders are expected to declare to the IGG. We are here today because the law requires us to declare to the Speaker of Parliament. So all the other leaders are supposed to declare to the IGG, and it is online. They're supposed to log on to the system and submit this declaration to the Inspectorate of Government. Yes, thank you very much. Have a nice day and God bless you.